Hey everybody, Sive here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. It's time to take a look at the gold market again. So, as usual, we prepared the weekly report where we have discussed a very interesting environment over the gold market, why this situation that we're standing right now will be quite different compared to previous crises in 70s, even in 30s, and what actually makes gold a very special asset. So it means that actually overall perspectives that stands right now around the gold might be not as many investors expect to get, because gold is very unique, and not only gold but in general commodities. They were transformed from the simple nature sources to a kind of the asset, and this is the only asset that was not created by people. All other stuff have been made for some purposes: bonds, currencies, stocks, and so on. So they're just put in the system of the uh, people's society and works for well-known purposes. But commodities are a bit different. And when something starts cracking in the urban system of the overall globe financing, they are actually, since they have a different nature, they behave differently, especially as a stronger breaks happening in a global urban system of the finances, as more unpredictable the natural resources behave. And that leads to appearing of a lot of different suggestions, theories concerning the possible targets of these changes. We have brought a few of them into report. They are quite interesting to see. It might be some questions concerning reliability of the systems, but they're interesting to read. And actually, at some circumstances, we can't exclude this situation. So today we also considered a few important information that have appeared this week, and that led us to better understand or get even some confirmation of our view on the gold market, why we expect actually that this time this crisis will be different compared to previous ones. And that makes us think that gold has better potential this time compared to the crisis that we saw previously, when actually gold was falling during the oil shock in the 1970s. So gold performs differently. So this time we think that it might be also, it could go in a different way. So if you if you would like to know about this, you could read the report. Speaking about technical picture for the short term, this time, guys, we did not have a lot of new information. Investors were so tired from the unstoppable news stream concerning war and all other stuff that they just, I think, use any ability to take the rest and take the breath. And you can see that in the recent two sessions we've got actually inside one, so making no big impact on the overall process that's going on here. The major risk for now and for Monday open is, of course, results of the failed negotiations. So it's already information appeared that negotiations have failed, and market definitely will give some reaction on Monday. But if we wouldn't consider this a risk factor, in general, by taking a look at the technical picture, I would say that picture looks more bullish rather than bearish. Just take a look by yourself. Overall trend remains bullish, despite that market clearly has formed a bearish pattern here, which is the shooting star, suggesting that some downside continuation back to approximately 46 area, probably 46, maybe 20 right here. Instead of that, market two sessions in a row stands inside of this candle and showing no deep retracement, no continuation to the downside. It's calling around the resistance. So this makes me think that it's more look like the bullish situation rather than bearish. So on the phone time frame chart, we have another signs of that, because inside of the range right after the OP has been completed, market doesn't show any significant reaction. It doesn't show desire to play with the divergence pattern that has been formed here, but mostly turns to the sideways action, forming pennant triangle with the clear signs of the bullish dynamic pressure. This also makes me think that here chances on upper breakout are preferable. So as I said, if we wouldn't consider the really geopolitical factors such as the negotiations, with all other things remains equal, I would searching here a chance to take the long position rather than trying to take the shorts. Speaking about the targets, the nearest one probably that we should consider is the XOP of our initial minor ABCD patch. It stands around 49.90, which is very close to daily resistance of 50.20. So I would call it as agreement area, and that is very important to our experiment on the weekly chart with the bearish volatility breakout, which I'm trying to follow and see how it will go. So supposedly based on the pattern that we have around this level might be bearish patterns might be start appearing, and overall idea of the breakout suggests that here we should get at some point downside leg again, just because here was broken weekly volatility, and in general the overall momentum here stands very strong. So from that standpoint of view, at some point we need to get some downside action that should fade this bearish momentum or lead to continuation. So depending on how situation will develop. So that's why in the current circumstances, let's see what will happen on Monday, how market will open. If results of the negotiations will not become really vital for the market and just will not show any reaction, technical factors suggest more the upward continuation, stands in favor of the upward continuation. On the hourly chart, we do not have something additional, but you just could see clearly what's going on. So depending on market reaction, inside of the triangle, you easily could suggest butterfly patterns in both directions. For instance, here you could easily suggest upper butterfly, even with this minor butterfly here as well. Or if market will still treat the results as a negative, you can get downside butterfly, right? With this possible drop back down to this our important support area for the bulls, as we said. While market stands above this area, market keep chance on the further upward continuation. So that's the things that we need to keep an eye on. Still, anyway, in the weekend we can't take any new position. Let's see what will happen on Monday and then return back to this question.